The real question isn't why we talk so much about the Sabbath. The real question is, why does modern Christianity choose to forget the one commandment that God says, remember? First, when it comes to the Sabbath, we do see Jesus addressing it. We just don't see him addressing it in the way that you want him to. See, when it comes to the Sabbath issue, they were already keeping the Sabbath. Granted, they were doing it wrong, but they were already doing it. So he didn't have to say, remember the Sabbath again, because again, they were already doing it. What he did have to say was, healing is perfectly okay with the Sabbath. Picking grain, just to have a snack, is okay on the Sabbath. He was showing them how to properly keep the Sabbath. He wasn't giving us an excuse to disregard it. And when he did speak about the Sabbath directly, he didn't have to try and establish it because it already was. He was pointing back to the creation, back to its Edenic original purpose. That's why he said the Sabbath was made for man and not just for the Jews, right? He calls himself Lord of the Sabbath, meaning he rules over it. He's the one who gives it its purpose and gives us our purpose in keeping it. And this is also why we see the early church in the book of Acts keeping the Sabbath, never Sunday, never any other day. And they weren't just trying to reach the Jews either, because some of those references also talk about the Gentiles keeping the Sabbath as well. Now, when Jesus did speak directly about the Sabbath, he did so in prophecy as well. Matthew 24:20, he said, pray that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day. He also said things like, if you love me, keep my commandments. And he didn't give us a caveat about which ones we were to keep and which ones we weren't. He further made this an issue of love when he said in Matthew 22, love God, love your neighbor, both referencing Leviticus 19 and Deuteronomy 6, the direct context of which is all 10 commandments, including the fourth. And so again, the real question isn't why we speak so much about it. It's why did Jesus and his apostles continue to honor it, the only day that God has blessed, and commanded us to remember that modern Christianity treats as optional. They forget the one commandment that begins with the word remember. So if Jesus is Lord of the Sabbath, what gives us the right to think we can reject it or treat it as if it no longer exists? Given that this issue is so important to God and that it's going to be the major issue in these last days, are you going to be keeping it, or are you going to find more excuses not to? Let me know in the comments.